The kitchen of the Romano estate was a place of silence. Not the peaceful kind. The heavy kind. The kind that pressed against your lungs and reminded you exactly who owned the air you were breathing. Every knife in that kitchen was sharp enough to slice bone. Every marble counter shined like a mirror. And every person who worked there knew one rule. Do your job. Don't speak unless spoken to. And never, ever, make a sound that could reach him. Yet tonight, a sound broke that rule. A soft, broken sob. Lena had tried to hold it in. She really had. She'd learned long ago that crying never solved anything. It only made things worse. But when you've been holding pain in your chest for weeks, when bruises bloom beneath your sleeves and words cut deeper than fists, eventually something cracks. The tear slipped first. Then the second. Then her shoulders trembled. She stood near the industrial sink, hands gripping the edge so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her reflection in the steel surface looked like someone else, someone smaller. Someone weaker. You're pathetic, her stepbrother's voice echoed in her memory. She squeezed her eyes shut. Don't cry here. Not here. Because this wasn't just any kitchen. This was the kitchen of Alessandro Romano. And men far more dangerous than her stepbrother had disappeared for less than disturbing the peace of this house. The sob escaped anyway. Soft. But in a mansion like this, even silence had ears. Heavy footsteps echoed across marble floors. Slow. Measured. Not rushed. Not angry. Just certain. Lena froze. No. No, no, no. The footsteps stopped outside the kitchen door. For a moment, there was nothing. Then the door opened. He stood there. Tall. Broad shoulders filling the doorway. Dark tailored suit, sleeves rolled slightly, revealing ink that coiled down his forearm like shadows. His presence didn't enter a room, it claimed it. Alessandro Romano. The man newspapers called a philanthropist. The police called untouchable. And the underworld called something else entirely. His eyes, cold, calculating, storm gray, scanned the room. They landed on her. Her breath stopped. Every staff member in the estate avoided eye contact with him. It was instinct. Survival. But tonight, she was too shaken to look away fast enough. He had heard her. And now he knew. The door clicked shut behind him. Then. He turned the lock. The sharp metallic sound sliced through the air. Lena's heart slammed violently against her ribs. She stepped back instinctively. I'm sorry, she whispered quickly. I didn't mean to disturb. Who hurt you? The question cut through her apology. Low. Controlled. Not loud. But dangerous. She blinked. What? His gaze didn't soften. It sharpened. Don't lie, he said. Her throat closed. I'm fine. Wrong answer. He stepped closer. Every movement deliberate. Like a predator that already knew its prey couldn't escape. You are crying in my house, he said quietly. In my kitchen. That means someone thought they were brave enough to touch what belongs under my protection. Her mind struggled to process the words. Protection? She was just a maid. She cleaned floors. Washed dishes. Avoided shadows. She didn't belong to anyone. I don't belong to you, she whispered before she could stop herself. Something flickered in his eyes. Not anger. Interest. No, he agreed slowly. You don't. He moved closer until the distance between them felt charged. Not inappropriate. Not threatening. But intense. He lifted his hand. She flinched. He noticed. And that's when his jaw tightened. His fingers didn't grab her. They gently lifted the edge of her sleeve. And that's when he saw it. Purple. Yellow. Fading green. Bruises layered over older bruises. The air changed. If silence had weight before, now it had heat. Who, he repeated, quieter now, did this? Her breathing grew uneven. If she told him, someone would get hurt. If she didn't, she would continue getting hurt. Tears spilled again. It doesn't matter. It matters to me. The words were simple. But they landed like a vow. Outside that kitchen, Alessandro Romano was a myth. A rumor wrapped in tailored suits and quiet violence. Inside this room, he was something else. Something controlled. Something barely holding back. You think I locked that door to threaten you? He asked softly. She swallowed. I locked it, he continued, because when I find out who hurt you, I don't want you to see what happens next. Her knees almost gave out. Not because she was afraid of him. But because for the first time in a very long time, someone sounded angry for her. And that was more terrifying than anything. She shook her head quickly. No, please. You don't understand. He'll only get worse if he knows I told. He. The single word was lethal. Her mistake. She pressed her lips together. Too late. His eyes darkened, not with rage, but with calculation. How long? She didn't answer. How long has he been touching you? The tremble returned. Since my father died. Something inside him snapped. Not loudly. Not visibly. But decisively. Alessandro stepped back, running a slow hand over his jaw as if organizing his thoughts. When he looked at her again, his voice was steady. What is his name? Silence. You have my word, he said quietly. No one will know you told me. His word. In his world, that meant more than contracts. More than law. More than life. She hesitated. And then. Rashid. The name hung in the air. He nodded once. Is he here in the city? Yes. Does he know where you work? Her heart pounded harder. Yes. That was when something dangerous flickered across his expression. Does he think he can come here? She didn't answer. That was answer enough. Alessandro walked to the door. Unlocked it. Paused. Then looked back at her. Go to your room, he said calmly. Do not leave it tonight. Fear rose in her chest again. What are you going to do? He adjusted his cuffs. The movement elegant. Controlled. I am going, he said quietly, to have a conversation. And the way he said conversation made it clear. It would not involve words. He opened the door. But before stepping out, he added one more thing. No one cries in my house, he said. Not without consequence. The door shut behind him. And somewhere in the city, a man named Rashid was about to learn what it meant to make the wrong girl cry in the wrong kitchen.